Hello. Hi, conscious creators. Good afternoon, good evening. It's me, it's Jean. I also like to be known as the conscious creator. Welcome to Facebook Live. We're going to have our conscious creators toolbox workshop tonight, our sessions tonight. I'm usually at the Interfaith Truth Center on Austell Road on Thursday evening at 7 to present a workshop for a group of conscious creators. And what we do is we talk about those things that we talk about our creative powers, our creative abilities at the session, and we talk about we look at each one. Actually, look at them. I'm sorry. We actually take a look at some of our abilities and our powers on Thursday night, and we kind of have a up close and personal look at them. We look at things like our intuition, our faith, our beliefs, because we're going to be talking about beliefs tonight. Our emotions, our feelings, our energy levels. Just the things that we use absolutely every day to create the lives and the realities that we have that we have when we live. So tonight we're going to be talking about our limiting. We're going to be talking about beliefs, but we're going to be talking about those beliefs that kind of keep us from creating and manifesting the lives that we want, and the lives that we desire, the lives that we dream of. And in order to create anything or to have anything, you got to believe that you have it and that you can have it. And if you don't have that belief, if you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen for you. It's just it's not going to happen. You can't make yourself do something, want something, and if you don't really first believe it. So we're going to talk about the five. There's five that are pretty much predominant, and most people, if they're having problems manifesting the things that they want in their life, they probably have a belief or disbelief about one of these five limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs could be anything from just feeling like, here's a common one. Rich people are bad, or money is evil, or let's see, I'm not good enough. In fact, that's one of the top ones that we talk about. Fear, just fear of believing that you can do things. Fear is another culprit, and that's a power in itself. And we talked about that, in our sessions before, and I think we've talked about that a little bit during the couple of times that I have kind of joined you, during these times, since we're kind of locked in. We can't get out and get into our groups and our social events, and we're kind of stuck at home. So I try to come in on Thursday and kind of pep you up, talk you off the ledge, if you would, encourage you, kind of help give you some, just encourage you to, keep on holding on, because, this too shall pass. But we're going to be talking about those limiting beliefs. And like I said, there's five that we're going to kind of talk about tonight. I would like to kind of make a couple of announcements. We're still working on the YouTube channel, and that's probably going to go live toward the end of the month or sometime in May. And we'll probably be putting it on our Facebook page and sending it out, to our members and folk who tune into us, our guests. We're going to be sending notices out about that. You can tune in, you can subscribe, and join us there, because I think what we're going to do is move the Conscious Creators Workshop to that platform, to the YouTube channel in the future. We're going to leave it there for a while until we actually get to a point where we can have that virtual classroom, and then we're going to move it over to our website. So anyway, Shirley Fields, hi. Good to see you. Nice having you join us. We're talking about limiting beliefs tonight. We're talking about the things that keep you from manifesting and creating the realities and the lives that you want, the lives that you desire, the things that you want to have in life. What are some of those things that keep you from having and being and doing and going where you desire, and the things that you desire to have and and just to have in your life. Everybody wants a good life. Everybody wants to be prosperous. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be healthy. And first you have to believe that you can be all these and you can have all these. So we're going to talk about the top five. I'm kind of hesitating a little bit because I'm waiting to see who else is going to join us. Talk about those top five that most folk, you're probably not going to be surprised about them, and you're probably going to go, do I believe that way, or is that one of my limiting beliefs? I'm presenting them to you because I want you to kind of think about them, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to, kind of rate yourself. See how you feel when you actually make one of these statements. We're going to talk about that, and I'm also want to, before I let you go, I'm going to give you a couple of. I would like to give you a meditation, and I probably will have to post that online. But I am going to give you, kind of give you some tips on how to, flip the switch on those limiting beliefs. A lot of times it's associated with the way we think, the way we talk, things that we say to ourselves, and sometimes we just say them because they're a habit of, saying, like for instance, I'm sick and tired. What we're saying is I'm sick. Well, I'm not sick. I might be, feeling a little bit tired today, but I'm not sick and tired. So those are things that I want to bring to your awareness and your attention, so that you'll be aware that sometimes we're talking and we're saying things to ourselves that actually is totally opposite of what we want and what we desire. So let's kind of get started. Let's talk first about a belief. We know that a belief basically, I'm gonna read my definition that I have here. A belief is something that we accept to be true. We believe that it's real, it's true, and it's something that has that our families have probably told us. We build our lives and our this whole belief system around things that we believe that are true and that are real for us. They're stronger than an opinion. They're more firm than an opinion, and they're more like a conviction. A conviction. So when you have a belief that you are, say you're wealthy, or you're smart. I'm able to climb Kennesaw Mountain, and I can do that, and I believe that I can do that in 30 minutes, or an hour and a half, or whatever. And I believe that, then I'm telling myself that I'm going to dress and I'm going to go and I'm going to, try to make that hike and that climb in that given time that I believe that I can do it. When I make a statement that I would like to, for instance, one of my beliefs is in the past have been to go to Hawaii. I want to retire and I want to go to Hawaii. Well, I had to believe that I could go there. Something that I believe. I had to really feel that I could, and I start going. I start going in my mind. I start visualizing it. I start feeling it, and eventually I did. I did make it to Hawaii. Well, limiting beliefs, on the other hand, are things that you think you believe, but then you start looking and you say, well, what's stopping me? What's keeping me from creating the life that I want? Maybe I need to look at. Maybe I need to take another. And that's one of the first things you want to look at, is look at your belief system. When you have been trying to manifest, you've been trying to create this life, this situation, have this new car, this new job, this new relationship, whatever, all those things that you desire for your life. You're trying it, but you time and time you fell. It just doesn't come together for you. That's when you may want to stop and look at, what am I saying to myself, and what am I believing about myself? And actually one of those beliefs, and I think what I want to do is I want to kind of back up a little bit, because I want to kind of demonstrate how a limiting belief affects you, how it actually affects your ability to set a goal and achieve it. Think of a boat that's docked at this at a dock. This dock, it's got the anchor down and it's docked at a dock. It's there at the dock. And the owner decides he wants to take it out into the lake, out into the sea. So he gets into the boat, turns the motor on, revs the engine, and tries to pull away from the dock. Well, he forgot to raise the anchor. The anchor still dropped in the water. So in order for him to leave the dock, he's going to have to raise the anchor. That's what your limiting beliefs do to you. When you have a belief opposite and contrary to what your goal is, or your intent, or your manifestation is, then you're not going to get far. You're not going to get far. It's going to be like an anchor that's holding you back on shore, at the dock, and not letting you sail out to your goals and to reach those manifestations that you have in your life. Another thing I wanted you to look at, I want you to think of an iceberg. And an iceberg, if you're from science, an iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is just the tip. That's what's above the water. But the majority of that iceberg is underneath. It's underneath the water. The surface tip of the iceberg, we can see the submerged part of the iceberg, which is the largest part of it. It's actually submerged. The part of the iceberg, I want you to think of your conscious mind as the tip of that iceberg. That's what you use to make decisions, your decisions and your thoughts and your conversations and deciding you're going to do this or go here or buy this. This is your analytical mind. This is what you use for your analytical mind. But the submerged part, your subconscious mind, which is underneath the surface of the water, is actually the majority of the functions and the directions that are given to how we conduct ourselves comes from the subconscious. And actually, that's where our beliefs lie. Our beliefs lie in the subconscious. We may tell ourselves that I can do, and we do, and we go out and try to do it, and we don't accomplish it. We fail. We fail absolutely every time. Probably, most likely, what we've done is we have a belief that is submerged in our subconscious that says that no, you can't. And somewhere you've convinced yourself, you've bought into that belief. You may have forgotten that you told yourself that, but if you are continually trying to attempt to do something, to manifest something in your life, to create something in your life, and it's not happening, then the first thing I would do is I would look at, do I really believe that I can do this? Is it something that I really believe that I deserve, I can have? So, and if you don't, if you really start looking at that and you say that, oh no, I don't. There's ways that you can flip the switch on it, basically. So anyway, the top five that I wanted to talk about tonight, and these are very, very common, and you've probably heard of them. And usually on some of my clients, it's not always easy to look at. I give them to them and I say, do you believe this? And they don't know. They say, well, they think they believe this way, but maybe they don't. But anyway, the first one, which is actually the number one limiting belief that most people have, or people have that affect their ability to manifest. And that is, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. The second one is, I'm not worthy. All of these, you might say, well, I feel like I'm good enough. I feel like I'm worthy. And the third one is, I don't deserve it. Whatever it is that you're desiring, that you're dreaming about, that you're going for, maybe you feel like that you don't deserve it, or you believe that you don't deserve it. And I'm going to talk about feelings that's associated with those beliefs too in a minute. The fourth one is, and the fourth and fifth are probably real similar to one another, and that is the fourth is the fear of failure. Fear of failure. And number 5 is fear of success. Now, what I want you to do is, I just kind of want you to kind of close your eyes, and I'm gonna just ask you to just kind of feel something for me. I want you to say, I I'm not good enough. And I want you to see if you have any feeling about that. If there's a feeling and sense where you feel it, if you're having a feeling about it, sense where you're feeling it. And I want you to rate how you feel about it from 1 to 10. 1 meaning that it's okay, I'm cool about it. Or 10 means that I feel something. I really feel something when I say that to myself. So I don't want you to think it. I want you to verbally open your mouth, and I want you to say, close your eyes and say, I'm not good enough. And I want you to see if you have a feeling, if it generates any movement anywhere in your body. Sometimes you get a tingling behind your ear, your stomach will get tight, you kind of feel choked up in your throat. Just see if you have a feeling that's associated with that belief, that limiting belief. And rate it. If you have a feeling, rate it. Just think about it and say, from a 1 to 10, how do I feel about it? And then I want you to. I'm going to only do a couple. I want to do the one. Well, let's do a couple of more. Let's do I'm not worthy. Now, again, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to verbally tell yourself or say that I am not worthy, and I want you to see if it has a feeling again. And I want you to rate it again. I want you to rate it. Say it and rate it. Rate from 1 to 10. Okay. Let's go to number 3, and it says that I don't think of something that you have a desire to create or to manifest in your life, and tell yourself that I don't deserve whatever it is. I want you to put a name behind the it. I don't deserve this new job. I don't deserve to a new home for my family. I don't deserve this new car or this new relationship, whatever it might be. I don't deserve to go on my vacation this year. Just and rate it. Rate how you're feeling. And I'm not going to do the other two, but I want you to keep the other two in mind. I have a fear. I'm afraid that I will fail if I blah blah blah, or I'm afraid that I will succeed if I do blah blah blah. I want you to take some time over the next few days and kind of rate yourself and be honest with yourself. It's because it's just you and you. And be honest with yourself as to how you're feeling about it. If you feel anything other than a 0, or even if you feel a 1, even if you feel any sensation at all, then that's kind of a clue that you may have that belief somewhere in your subconscious that you may not even be aware of, that you may think that I'm good enough to have this position, this new position at work. I've applied for it, and I'm of course I'm good enough to have this position. I applied for it, but feel it. See if you really feel like you deserve it. Feel like you're worthy. Feel like you are good enough for it. Because a lot of times we'll say, well, I would try to do that, but I'm not going to, it's not going to happen for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to happen. Well, if you tell yourself that, and sometimes we tell ourselves and we don't even realize that we're saying what we're saying. And again, probably the prominent one that we do is we say, I'm sick. I am so sick and tired of this. You are telling yourself, and you've told yourself that probably so much and so many times that belief has sunk down into your subconscious. Now, and I don't know if I mentioned, but your subconscious runs 95% of your self. Whatever's happening with your body, 95% of it is controlled by your subconscious. That's the autopilot of your activity that you do. Only 5%, 7 to 5%, they say, is what our conscious mind processes and analyzes and do. Functions like breathing and keeping our heart rate going and pumping the blood all over the place. Those things are done automatically. And usually, and I kind of laugh at creating habits, when we create a habit, that drops down into the subconscious. Driving your car. How many times have you found yourself driving and you look up and you're, like, oh, how did I get here? Well, your subconscious was was in the driver's seat at that time, was on the autopilot, and that your subconscious was making sure that you got there, and you were able to continue, looking out and doing whatever and thinking about whatever you were wanting to be thinking about, but your subconscious kicked in and it made sure that you could drive your car. And that happens with 95% of our activity. The things that we do in our lives, 95% of it is actually controlled and directed by our subconscious. So that's why sometimes it's very difficult to admit and to understand that I believe I'm good enough. I believe I am. But have you told yourself something contrary to that fact? Have you told yourself that enough, or have you listened and heard and agreed with somebody else telling you that enough that your subconscious believes and understands that to be true about you? Okay? Your subconscious and your conscious have to be on the same page in order for you to get from A to Z. Because the subconscious say, I only go to B. I don't go past B. I don't ever go past B. That's how I'm programmed. I don't go past B. You will never get to C or Z or any further than B, because subconscious will sabotage you absolutely every time you plan to get to D. It says we don't go to D. We don't do D. That's just in our thing. So, she's already said D's it. I mean, B's it. So we don't go D. We don't do D. So be aware of the things that you do. And especially when you're talking about manifesting and you're talking about creating something in your life, and you try and you fail every time, and you keep trying and fail. Well, let's go back and see what subconscious says about it. What is it that I believe? And again, the best way, the easiest and fastest way for you to determine if your subconscious is agreeing with your conscious is check, do the meditation, or do the little drill that I did before. Sit down with yourself and see if, do I believe that I can lose this weight? Do I believe that I can lose these 15 pounds? And see, and tell yourself, I believe I can, and see how you feel when you say it. Because if your subconscious and your conscious are not, there'll be a little bit of a tweak there somewhere. There'll be some sensation in you that will make you kind of, well, I didn't feel totally 100% sure of that. So that is a quick and easy way to do it. And not everybody can do that. I kind of tell my clients, that if they're going through and they're trying to determine and some people need, maybe your husband or your spouse or your kids or your best buddy or whatever to kind of help you. Ask them, do I act like I'm afraid to fail? I'm afraid to succeed? Do I act like I have this fear of failure? Talk to people and ask them about those things. I've been trying to lose this weight, and I've been trying to stay on this diet, and I just can't. Do I act like I'm happy being, I'm okay with my weight, or I'm just not, I'm not really, determined enough? Ask them, ask them to help you determine if you believe what you think you believe. Okay. And to me, the number one answer to whether I believe something or not is, how long have I expended my energy to try to accomplish this goal? How long have I been trying to accomplish this goal? How many attempts have I made and I failed? If it's been an amount of time, or just a crazy amount of time, if I've been trying to do this for years, then chances are my subconscious and my conscious are not on the same page. So what do I need to do at that point? What do I need to do? First of all, we need to acknowledge that acknowledge that I want to believe that. But I just, for some reason, my subconscious has a whole different belief about this. Once you admit that, or you recognize that, and you embrace that, and you sit with it for a while, because it's not going to be something, especially if it's something that you've felt forever, for years and years and years, that you've had this fear of failure, or this fear of success, or this feeling that I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough. Then it's going to take a little bit of time for you to back that out and reprogram your subconscious, because your subconscious once your subconscious has that routine or that program that's there, and it's designed, sealed, and delivered as far as it's concerned, there's nothing you can do or say that's going to make your subconscious do something that you don't believe, that you just don't. Well, I don't. That's not my belief. That's not in my program. It does not compute. It does not compute with me. So I'm going to do everything, because I'm supposed to protect you and give you what you want, because it's what subconscious does. It makes you happy. It does it does what you believe. It does what you really believe. So it's gonna sabotage your conscious thought absolutely every time if it's contrary. If the system believes opposite of what you're telling it. No, and you can't just tell it one time and think it's going to buy it. It took months and months and drills and drills and drills to set that belief in concrete. It's going to take a whole lot of drilling or effort, concentrated effort to swap it out, to reprogram it. So be patient with yourself in those. Those are the five very simple ones, but you probably can look at your own personal goals and your own personal dreams and and what you've been trying to create for yourself. And you can come up with your own list of, do I really believe that? And if I don't believe that I can, what is it that I do believe about it? What is it that I believe about this? What is it that I believe about, learning how to ski? to ski. Am I afraid of snow? Am I afraid of, what part of that do I not believe that I'm able to do, worthy of doing, deserve to do, or just failing? If I just try, am I going to fall and fail? So ask yourself those things and always examine your goals and your attempts to manifest. Don't give up. Don't say, well, I just can't do it, because then that's another belief that you're telling yourself, and you're convincing subconscious, and you're agreeing with subconscious that, yeah, I just can't do it. No, if that's what you want, if that's your desire, then let's fix the belief system. Let's go in there, find out what I believe about it, subconsciously believe, not what what I'm telling everybody that I'm going to do, or myself that I'm going to do today, when I spent 5 years telling myself that I can or I don't deserve it. You've got to reprogram that subconscious. So limiting beliefs will keep you absolutely every time stuck on the dock, stuck on the beach, rather than having you able to sell out to your goals and meet those goals. Excuse me just a second. I'm gonna get some water. So don't give up. Don't give up. Keep trying. Keep doing what you do. Keep the goal, and keep the desires, and keep your dreams alive. But don't let limiting beliefs or beliefs that are contrary to what you desire stop you from getting them. Push out. Raise that anchor. Identify what you believe and don't believe about what your goals are, what you desire for your life to be, what you desire for your family, what you want, what you dream about, they're your things, your goals that you set. And it's up to you to work your system. And your system is your subconscious and your conscious. You work that. You are the pilot. If you've got a mind to have, or you've got a mind to speak it, to say it, then you can create it. You can manifest it. But you have to, saying it and believing are two different things. Saying and believing are totally two different things. I can say all day long that I can skydive. I took skydiving lessons once, and I used to say I'm gonna skydive. But when the push came to shove, I took the lessons. My subconscious said, "You are not jumping out of this plane, girl. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with this plane. We don't jump out of planes. We sit in a seat, we buckle up, and we stay safe." So when it got the time, I've got all my gear on, got my chute on, got everything ready, open the door. No. Come on, Gene, I'll jump with you. Oh, no, I'm not jumping. Because I believe that whole 9 weeks of classes, I kept telling myself, but subconscious got in that plane that day, and it said, we are not jumping out this perfectly good plane. So believing is saying it, and believing it are two different things. I never did convince my subconscious. I didn't even go back to try to fix that one. I just said, you know what? You're right, subconscious. There's no reason to jump out of a plane when it's like not falling. So there. But it is up to us to decide. I mean, if I really, really, really felt like I really wanted to skydive, I probably would have kept pushing and kept working on my subconscious to help it understand that, yeah, I used to be afraid. I used to have a fear of flying, of jumping out of a plane. But you know what? We've made all the precautions. We've taken the class. We got to jump with somebody for the first time. We can do this. I know I can do this. And I get rid of that fear. I work on that limiting belief that, I'm not jumping. I'm scared to jump. I work on that belief to change it to, yes, darn it, I can. I spent a whole bunch of money for this class, and I know I can jump out of this plane. So here we go. But that's not something I wanted to convince myself to do. So, but you have to have a desire. It has to be a desire. It has to be something that you want enough that you really truly believe that you can have it. And when you fail and you try and you don't succeed, you try again and you don't succeed, then you stop and you look at it. Well, maybe I really do want this. I really want it. What is it that I don't believe about having it or being able to manifest it or create it in my life? And fix it. Some of the I'm going to post it's a meditation, and it's called the Wise Man meditation. It's about a 5-minute meditation. And usually when I'm working with clients, it can take a couple of sessions really to help them figure out what their limiting beliefs are about whatever it is that they're working on. But this particular one is kind of nice. It's a nice, gentle one. And you kind of go through and you actually seek a wise man to help and ask the wise man to help you identify it. I'm going to post it on the site. I'm going to leave it up there for a week or so. And it's going to be called Wise Man Meditation. It's a 5-minute meditation. And it's kind of nice. It's a nice little meditation anyway, if you just want to meditate. I don't know if you have a meditation practice, but it's a nice little way of meditating for 5 minutes. You want to take a 5-minute break, especially you guys who's working from home, stuck at home right now. You may want to, use it for your breaks at meditation. So I'll post that. Listen to it. Use it. If you have any questions about limiting beliefs and how to identify them and how do I talk myself off, talk myself into believing, how do I work myself into believing something that I'm finding out that obviously I don't really believe it. Maybe next week we'll talk a little bit about some of the other techniques we can use to modify and change your beliefs. They've got so many different ways now that methods and techniques for modifying and changing your beliefs that I probably would like to kind of go through and pick out some that's kind of easy for me to just kind of deliver to you that you can kind of work with on your own. Because there's probably tons and tons of them. Meditations, some that are using visualizations, pretending, doing some pretending, pretending, because really, honestly, your subconscious does not know whether you're lying to it or telling the truth. Once it's sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered, that's whatever it is that it believes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to it whether it's true or false. Okay. because obviously you believe that you could have this new car, right? But somewhere you convinced subconscious that no, we don't do new cars. We don't do new cars. We don't do no. That's not what we do. We don't do, and if we do, we got to struggle to get it. We don't just. It's not going to be an easy thing. It's going to be whenever I get, it's going to be tough. We got to have to work hard for it. I work. You got to work hard for your money, because we've convinced subconscious that that's what we have to do. Now we can convince subconscious that money grows on trees. We're looking around, and before long we see somebody pinned a couple of dollars up in the tree for us, because subconscious will give you and help you achieve and get whatever you believe you can get, and whatever you believe you cannot do, whether you forgot that you told it that 10 years ago and now today I can do it. Subconscious, you have to really reprogram back up and convince the subconscious now, I know 30 years from now, 30 years later, I really can do this. But you have to convince it, because all those years, it's been making sure that you got exactly what you believed. And now you change your belief on it. You flip the switch on it. You flipped up here, but subconscious under that 95% of that iceberg, subconscious is like, no, my computer says that we don't do that. We don't get to Z, we only get to D. So it's not. Every time you try to go past D, subconscious is gonna do something to make sure that we don't do that. We don't go. You're gonna get sick. Telephone's gonna ring. Something's gonna happen to stop you from going past D, because D is all I do. That's subconscious. So anyway, that's gonna be. I'm gonna wrap that up for tonight. I really wish that I'm looking forward to the lockdown, being over, so we can have them face to face. Because usually the sessions, what we do is we do it's interactive. We actually. We spend about 15 minutes talking about the creative ability, a creative power that of the evening, whether it's intuition, wish, whatever. We talk about it for 15 or 20 minutes, and then we demonstrate, or we share amongst ourselves about how it functions and how we work with that particular ability or that power individually, and we share it with one another, and that kind of gives us an opportunity to hear an alternative to what we do ourselves. So I'm looking forward to getting back, face to face with folk, and if that doesn't happen, eventually into the virtual classroom that we're working on, we're going to be doing that. We are going to, when we go to YouTube, the YouTube sessions, we'll have opportunity for you to ask questions, and I can respond to the questions during those sessions, and it's going to probably be about a 45-minute broadcast. Probably pretty much like we're doing with this one here. Again, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys being, just visiting us on the website. I hope that the group page encourages you, gives you some food for thought, make you kind of think about things in a different kind of light. Because a lot of times we see things just one-dimensional, or just the way that we've always seen it. And if somebody just kind of tweak it just a little bit and give us a different presentation of it, we have a different perspective to look at. We have an alternative to what we may have always been told, or always known, or always thought, that we can look at it. So the purpose for me in doing that is basically to switch it. And I do have an opportunity. I don't know, people that probably know me, I'm still the bookworm that I've always been, and I'm always, just searching for information, searching for knowledge, just learn, just learn. I think my grandma said that you should learn something new, learn something that you didn't know yesterday, every day. So that's my thing, and I do make that a habit. So I try to share forward what I understand, and I try to make it as simple as I would to talking to my 8-year-old grandson. I try to make it simple. It's not very complicated, and that's what I try to do. So I hope you enjoy what I share. Talk back to me sometimes, you guys. And if any of you would like to be a moderator on it, to share your wisdoms and your thoughts and your feelings, just give us drop me an email or message me, if they say, and we'll get you set up so you can do that as well. We are a public group page, and until we go private, we've got to just probably keep it down to a minimum as far as post. You can comment, and we really welcome comments. That's how we know if we're giving you if it's making sense to you, basically. So respond to us. Give us some comments. Give us some, shout outs every now and then. Say, hey, good morning, whatever, good night. Just to let us know that you're there and that, that you're getting it. You're getting what and you're okay with it. And if you don't like it, hey, tell me, hey, gee, what are you talking about, girl? I don't even understand that, what do you mean? So just, shout at me, and I will definitely respond to you. I love everybody. I love you all. I really do. My heart overflows with love, and I'm always pushing light out to you continuously. I am with all of you who are locked down because you have to be with your kids, homeschooling, and your jobs, that you're not able to get back to your offices to hang out with your buddies and your classmates and your school. My heart goes out to each one of you. I was laughing. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she says, "What do you know? You retired." I says, "Well, yeah." I says, "But I feel for him. I do feel for that. I can imagine." I spent yesterday with my daughter at her house, and oh my goodness, my heart goes out to homeschool moms. Although it is spring break, she did point that out. It was spring break, so I hope you're enjoying your spring break. Hope you are taking advantage of the spring break, and you're doing something fun with your families. I love you all. Continue to send me love and light and hope, and I will keep pushing it right back to you. That's something that we can never exhaust. We won't ever be able to exhaust love. We won't ever be able to exhaust light, and we can always keep, as Jesse would say, we can keep hope alive, y'all. So keep on hoping, keep on loving, and let your little light shine. God bless you all, and I will see you next week. Good night.